Test, test. Test. Interesting. Interesting. Test. Test. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see if everything's synced up. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see if everything's synced up. Test. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay, I think it is. Let me see. Risky click here. Test. Oh, I can still hear myself. How can I hear myself? Test. Let's see. What if I turn this down? Still hearing? Hmm. Still hearing? I don't know what's happening. Somehow I can hear myself in my own headphones, which I guess is okay. Okay, one more risky click. Wait, Scarlet. Okay. Test. Test. Okay, I can hear myself. And I think it's coming through. And now if I turn this off, nope, I can still hear myself. I don't know. Let's see at least if the video is like feedbacking. So I just heard myself. I think at least. Yeah, okay. So, okay, so before there was an issue where when I listened to my own stream, I would hear it feedback through the stream. So then you would hear a delayed version of the stream, and that's not happening anymore. So that's good. I don't know why I can still hear myself. Huh. Okay, well, there's one thing I can do, which is take my headphones off. Let me just make sure. Okay. That solves the problem. Cool. All right. We are doing a little bit of a test run on these these vibe coding live streams, chance to work out some of the technical kinks and also do a little bit of vibe coding live, so you can see a little bit of the process for how I build out some of the features in Herd. And I think it would be cool in the future to actually have the app on the side and have a debate going of like what should be the next feature to work on. Obviously, that doesn't make sense right now. And obviously, okay, also this agenda is, that is not, that is the, I'm just going to move that over there. Goodbye. Music agenda. And then I'm going to do a new text thing. Code agenda. Coding login system. Boom. Oh, yeah. You're watching how the biscuits get made. Is that the expression? How the sausage gets made. Cats make biscuits. I make sausage. Okay, also. Oh, speaking of cats. My cat is having a sneezing fit. Oh. I hope he's okay. Just wanted to update the link also. Nope. There we go. Okay, he's doing better now. All right. And let me update the link in the description of this thing. Okay, cool. All right. So I think that's good for now. No, while we're here, I'm going to do a quick EQ test because I also know that was something that came up over the music live stream, is that my voice could sound a little smoother. Test, 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 test. Test, test. Okay, I don't know if that made any difference. I just added a thing. It sounds exactly the same. Oh, it's not affecting that. Okay. How about that? Let's see if that's any better. Also, I need to get reverb in here. Whoa, okay. Hang on 1 second. We're going to get reverb set up. Maybe I'll do that another time. Let's jump in. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Alrighty. And this is working, right? Yeah, cool. So you can see the changes. All right. So the plan I'm going to work on tonight is getting the login system to do a one magic link kind of dealy. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to get rid of the nickname. I'm going to get rid of the passwords, get rid of this kind of stuff. I want to make this step of the process as easy as possible. Part of the reason is that I'm going to do a little guerrilla marketing this weekend. I'm going to go out to a farmer's market and put some QR codes around, and I'm gonna rock the boat a little bit. And I'm hoping that people will create accounts. When they scan the QR code, it'll just take them straight into a debate or discussion. But I'm hoping there's a couple little tripwires along the way that sort of like, hey, set up an account. And if they click that button or whatever, I want it to be as easy as possible for them to then set up an account. And I think even little things like asking for a nickname, asking for a password when you're on your phone and you're standing outside and whatever, it's cold, like the simpler we can make this, the better. And the nice thing about email text fields is that they autocomplete, right? So like theoretically, if the only thing, theoretically, if the only thing that they needed to do is the email, then like theoretically it would be like one tap to bring this up, one tap to select it, and then boom, create account. And then it would send you a link, so you would need to go into your email and click the link. But the number of taps that you would need to do would be like drastically reduced because there would be zero typing. And even if they don't go into their email and click the link right away, at least now they've like kind of created an account, even if they didn't actually log into it. And also then we have their email, so we can send them follow-ups to say, hey, don't forget to finish signing up. So that's the idea. And probably going to be a little more than I can do tonight alone, but give it a shot. So yeah, I was working on a newsletter thing before, but we're not going to do that. All right, so I'm going to show you all my workflow. I think I've talked about this on the last stream, but let's see. What I like to do, and let me see if I can set up a second screen share real quick. Main screen share. And I'm going to do ChatGPT. Yes. Okay. Well, that is not super good looking, but at least you can see what I'm doing now. So this is kind of the workflow that I like to do is I actually use ChatGPT strictly for the voice to text because it's just like remarkably good. And then I'll copy and paste stuff into Figma. So I'm going to kind of describe what I want it to do. And then we'll see how that goes. So let's see. Okay, so I want to start working on the login system, and I want to strip everything down so that it's a single link, like a magic link to sign in. So I want to remove passwords. I want to remove nicknames. I don't want the user to have to do anything to create an account or log into their account other than enter their email and then click a link in that email. So
but let's implement this in kind of an incremental way. So what I would like to do first is, I think, build the magic link in parallel. So for now, let's not touch the passwords or nicknames or anything like that. But let's just add a second button. And for now, we'll only do logins. We won't do account creation. So this will only be for existing users. So add it to the login screen, and add a second button where you can say login or send me a magic link. And so if they've entered their email but they haven't entered a password, they can just click this button, send me a magic link. It sends them an email. The email goes to a special handler page on our app, which then logs them in. Don't worry about any of the previous stuff that we talked about sessions or security or anything like that. Just focus on this specific task for now. Okay, so now I've got all of that in a big old prompt, and I'm going to plop that into Figma. So I'm literally, in this case, just using ChatGPT because it is it's just like the best text-to-speech. Speech to text. So I'm literally just using it to transcribe in that case. I do use it in and of itself, just like to actually chat with ChatGPT. But in this case, since we're using Figma to build it, I'm not going to talk to ChatGPT. All right. Alrighty. So now we can see it working away. And what I like to do while it's doing this is I'll kind of read through this and see to make sure it's just sort of like understanding what I told it to do. So it's saying it's going to build it in parallel. That's good. Sometimes looking at the reasoning can be helpful just to make sure. And yeah, looks like it's chugging away. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I literally go and get like some tea or something. You just give it a minute or two, because it does the cool thing. I mean, this is actually one of the things that Figma does really well, is it will, whatever the agentic AI setup is here, it will work for as long or as short as it needs to. So you can see that it's chugging away line by line. Okay, now I need to do this. Okay, now I need to do that. And so sometimes it'll literally sit there for 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, I've never timed it, but it feels like 2 to 3 minutes. And sometimes it'll be 30 seconds if I'm just asking it to change an icon or something. And this was a pretty big request, right? Because I'm asking it to set up an email system and to set up a whole new login kind of backend, and to change the UI to let you sign in with a button. So it's great that it's actually taking this long. If you ever tried to use like Copilot, like Visual Studio Copilot, like VS Code, it seems like for whatever reason it won't work for as long as it needs to for big tasks like this. Like it seems like it's just like it'll try to pick some version of what you told it to do that it can accomplish in like 30 seconds, and it'll just do that. And like, so if you give it any kind of big task, it just has to completely half-ass it in order to finish it within 30 seconds, and then it's never right. And there we go. It's telling me that it's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to inspect the code, because this is a pretty kind of back-end heavy this is a pretty back-end heavy little bit of work that it did. And one tricky thing is I have the newsletter work that I told you I was doing also. in here, so this is going to be a little confusing. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me grab the newsletter. So this is components admin. I'll just paste in the new version so it has it, because I did some editing locally. Yeah, and then this use debate session hook source. Hooks. That one. And then API I changed. Or sorry, auth API I changed. Something. Wait, what did I change? Oh goodness. Use debate session. Because I'm seeing these TypeScript errors. But I thought I fixed these. Create user. API. Yeah, that's what I thought. Huh. Okay, hang on 1 second. So I'm just going to copy these 3. Yeah, this was a little bit of a mess. I should have. Well, the bigger best practice here wouldn't be to try to start working on a new feature when you haven't even committed your code, but we're past that. Anyways, that is the solution, so I think that should fix it. Ooh, what just happened? Here, let me, just so you can see what I'm doing. Bring up VS Code. API heard. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now you're seeing my VS Code. And I was just trying to revert this, and I don't know what. Uh-oh. Sorry, wait, what is happening? Oh my goodness. Test. Test, test. Okay, I think we're back. I don't know what that was. That was really strange. Let's see. Is the sound coming through? There we go. Okay. My headphones back in. All right. I don't know what that was. That was very strange. Anyways. back to what I was trying to do here was I was trying to. Okay, let's just do this. I'm trying to. Okay. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Okay. And now plop this back into Figma, the API. Okay, so you can see all these changes over here. Most of these are the newsletter. And then these are the new things. So it added send magic link and verify magic link. It added this, I think, is the let me just make sure the stream is still working. Yes. Yeah, and so this is the API that it added. So send magic link. So it's doing it a very simple way, which is fine for now. Eventually, we're going to want like session logic and stuff like that, but for now, it's literally creating a that thing, and then generally don't like this. Link URL. So there's a token that it generated. Okay, and then here's the HTML for the email that it's going to send. For some reason, it always capitalizes heard, which is very aggressive. Oh God, wait. Well, I don't want to change. We're being good developers today. We're not changing things that are unrelated to what we're working on. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so then it's making a request. I am definitely going to clean this up because, like, there's a lot of functionality already in the backend that sends emails. So there's a ton of duplication happening here. Like this is duplicated, this is duplicated. So I'm going to clean all this up off the stream probably. But it would be cool if we can test this. And then this is the verify. So it takes the token, it looks it up, and then if it finds it, checks the expiration, deletes it if it finds it, and it's not expired. Then it gets the user, and then it deletes it. So it deletes it either way, which is good. I feel like we could just delete it. Like, I don't know. Like there. But anyways. Last active. Sets that, and then it updates the user. And then returns the user. And so they're logged in. So that should be cool. Here, this is part of the newsletter. I don't actually think. Yeah, none of this has anything to do. Why does it keep capitalizing things? Okay, let me undo all of that and just copy this back in. Add an API. Boom. Okay, just plopped that into Figma. So we should be fine there. Okay, and then here, this I think is where we're gonna, this is the front end code. Man, do we really not have this anywhere? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why does it insist on duplicating things? Like, we have this declared 3 different times. Okay. I'm gonna give it a talking to. No, I will tell it not to duplicate that and you put it into a function. Okay, mode equals sign in. Interesting. Wait, it already has a mode equals sign in. Why? Oh, I see. This is the or. So it's like do that or right. Or a button. Okay. It's a little interesting. It's my new favorite word apparently. But I think that'll work. And then this is the main kind of app. This is where stuff gets parsed out of the URL. And so it's grabbing it from the URL. It's saving it in the state. And then it has a handler which verifies it and should return a user. So this should be, there we go. And this too. There we go. And that fixes that TypeScript issue. I'm going to copy this back into source utils API. Yeah, it's a little funky. You'll see me copying things into Figma fairly often, which is like, this is the hackiest workflow ever, but it's worth it just because of how cool and great and like effective Figma is, and just how quickly it helps you move. It's worth it to deal with kind of some of the dumb, repetitive, tedious things you need to do. So, okay, I think this is good. Like I said, I'll do a little bit of cleaning afterwards, but that's kind of boring, so I don't want to like spend too much of the stream doing that. Did I make a change to this file? Oh, just, yeah. Okay, so I think let's actually test it. So I'm going to switch back. Boom. Now you're seeing Figma again. And let's see. Send me a magic link. Oop. Oh, that never works. Okay. Let's try it. Sending magic link. Look at that. See, this is the kind of stuff that Figma, like, look. It just looks so good. Like, Figma just makes everything look so good. Okay, I don't want to open up my email on the live stream, but I wonder if I can pop it out and show you. Huh. Does this work? Negative. Negative. Okay. Well, here, let me show you on this, and we will switch to login to herd. Huh. Boom. There we go. That's what I'm seeing. Does this work? So again with the why negative? Why do we do this? Well, here, did I let me show you on this, and we will switch to. Did I not save login to herd? Huh. Boom. There we go. Where's the actual? That's what I'm seeing. Does this work? So again with the why log into your account. Why do we do this? Well, I'm just going to search. Did I fix it? I've got this, and we will switch to auth. Did I not API save login to herd? Huh. Boom. Okay, there we go. Update that. So that's what I'm seeing. Let's go back to herd. So again with the why log into your account. Why do we do this? Well, I'm just going to search. Did I fix it? I've got should be this, and we will switch to auth. Did I not save login to herd? Huh. Boom. Okay, there we go. Update that. So that's what I'm seeing. This and then herd. Cool. So all right, let's give it a little bit of feedback. So log into your account. Why do we do this? Well, I'm just going to search. Did I fix it? I've got to move the email template. out of auth API. Auth,
did I not
API file. I think that's just
Okay,
good
there we go.
practice. Like this file is
So
massive. That's what I'm seeing.
this.
Which, like, theoretically, there's nothing wrong with having big
so,
files.
alright,
Let's give it a
but,
little bit of feedback. So,
just
like
like
most
most
modern
tooling,
tooling, kind of starts to
well,
fall
did I,
apart with bigger files. I've got even AI.
email
I've noticed that it doesn't do as well when you give it a giant file.
Did I not?
It tends to like slow it
File.
down because it needs to look through the entire file. I think that's just good
Yep.
practice. Like this file is
So
that's what I'm
massive.
seeing. Which, like, theoretically, there's
better.
nothing wrong with having
I try to
big
keep
files.
files,
Let's give it a
but
little bit of feedback. So, just like most modern tooling, kind of
obviously
starts
as
to
well.
fall
Did I-
apart.
this is
with
an
bigger
API
file.
file,
I've
so
got
it's
even
like
AI.
email
I've noticed that it doesn't do as well when you give it a giant
been a
file.
little- did I not?
It tends to like
Yeah.
slow it
Files
down because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
file.
just good
Yeah,
practice.
but
Like this file is
so
that's what I'm
massive.
seeing.
Yeah.
Which, like,
It's
theoretically,
just
there's
better.
nothing wrong with having.
I try to keep
files.
files,
Let's give it a
but,
little bit of feedback. So, just like most modern
so,
tooling, kind of
obviously
starts
as
to
well.
fall
Did I-
apart. Another thing that I want to figure
oh, yeah,
out.
files.
I've got,
Like,
even
email,
AI,
email,
usable. I've noticed that it doesn't do as well when you give it a giant
been a
file.
little- did I not?
It tends to like slow it down because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
file.
just
Yeah,
good
but-
practice. Like this file is
So
that's what I'm
massive.
seeing.
Yeah.
Which, like,
It's
theoretically,
just
there's
better.
nothing wrong with having.
I try to keep
file.
files,
Let's give it a
but,
little bit of feedback. So,
just
like
like
most modern. So,
like a little
obviously
as well.
Fall
Did I-
apart. Another thing that I want to figure
oh, yeah,
out.
files.
I've got,
Instead of
even
a
AI,
little bit
email,
usable.
I've noticed that it
writing
doesn't do as
thing.
well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
did I not?
It tends to like
Yeah.
slow it down
Files.
because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
File.
just
Yeah,
good
but-
practice. Like this file is
So
that's what I'm
massive.
seeing.
Yeah.
Which, like,
It's
theoretically,
just
there's
better.
nothing wrong with having.
I try to keep
file.
files,
Let's give it a
but-
little bit of feedback. So,
just like
most
most
modern.
so,
like a little
obviously as well.
Fall
Did I-
apart. Another thing that I want to figure
oh, yeah,
out.
before I-
Even AI,
email,
try it.
usable,
I've noticed that it doesn't
writing
do
thing.
as well when you give it a giant
been a
file.
little-
Did I not? It
Yeah.
tends to like
Yeah.
slow it down
Files.
because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
File.
just
Yeah,
good
but-
practice. Like, will not work. File is.
So
that's what I'm
as-
seeing.
this is linking
Which,
to the
like,
actual-
theoretically,
just
there's
better.
nothing wrong with having.
try to keep
file.
files,
Let's give it a little bit of
but-
feedback. So,
just like
most
most
modern.
so,
like a little
obviously
as
as
well.
well.
Fall
Did I-
apart. Another thing that I want to figure
oh, yeah,
out.
before I-
Even AI,
usable,
try it. I've noticed that it doesn't
writing
do well when you give it a giant
been a
file.
little-
Did I not? It tends to like
Yeah.
slow it down
Files.
because it needs to look through the entire. I think
File.
that's just
Yeah,
good.
but-
Like, will not work. File is. So
as
that's what I'm
the
seeing.
environment,
Which, like, theoretically, there's nothing wrong with having.
try to keep
file.
files.
Let's give it a little bit of feedback. So,
just like
most
most
modern.
so,
like a little
obviously as well.
Fall
Did I-
apart.
oh, yeah, before I-
even AI,
usable,
try it. I've noticed that it doesn't
writing
do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
did I not?
It tends to like slow it down because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
File.
just
Yeah,
good.
but-
Like, will not work. File is.
So
So
as
that's what I'm
the
seeing.
environment,
Which, like,
the
theoretically,
actual-
there's nothing wrong with having.
try to keep
file.
files.
Let's give it a little bit of feedback.
So,
So, like most modern.
so,
like a little
obviously
as
as
well.
well.
Fall
Did I-
apart. Finish.
oh, yeah,
How it's
before I-
even AI.
usable,
Notice that it doesn't
writing
do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file. It tends to like slow it too, so it's not down because it needs to look through the entire. I think that's
File.
just good. Finish.
oh, yeah,
How it's
before I-
even AI.
usable,
Notice that it doesn't
writing
do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
so
It
now
tends to
you
like
can
slow
apply-
it too, so it's not
down
down because it
because
needs to look through the entire. I think that's
file.
just
Here
good.
is
Finish.
oh, yeah,
How it's
before I-
even AI. Notice that it doesn't
Oh,
do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
so
So
now you can
like slow
apply
it
here.
here, so it's not
down
down because it
because
needs to look through the entire. I think that's
file.
just
Here
good.
is
Finish.
oh, yeah,
How it's
before I-
even AI. Notice that it doesn't do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
so
So
now you can
like slow
apply
it here,
here.
so it's not
down
down
because
because
this
this
should
should
file. Here is
finish.
oh, yeah, how it's
before I- even AI. Notice that it doesn't do well when you give it a giant
been a little-
file.
so
So
now you can
like
apply
slow it
here.
here,
down
because
because
this
this
should
should file. Here is
finish.
oh, yeah, how it's
Even AI. Notice that it doesn't do well when you give it a giant
been a
file.
little-
Fairly
so
rotate.
now you can
Oh,
apply
yeah.
here.
Down because this should
file.
Here is pretty bad. Okay,
yeah, how it's
even AI gets to work. That's pretty good. Well, when you give it a giant
been a
file. Fairly
little-
rotate.
now you can
Oh,
apply
yeah.
down because this should file.
Here is pretty bad. Okay, yeah, how it's even AI gets to work. That's pretty good. Well, when you give it a giant
been a
file. Fairly
little-
rotate.
now you can
Oh,
apply
yeah.
down because this should file. Here is
Pretty bad. Okay, yeah, how it's even AI gets to work. That's pretty good. Well, when you give it a giant
been a
file. Fairly
little-
rotate.
now you can
Oh,
apply
yeah.
down because this should file. Here is
Pretty bad. Okay, yeah, how it's even AI gets to work. That's pretty good. Well, when you give it a giant
been a
file. Fairly
little-
rotate.
now you can
Oh,
apply
yeah.
down because
Just doing
this
it.
should file. Here is
Pretty bad. Okay, yeah, how it's even AI gets to work. That's pretty good. You hear
hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code. Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's
Pretty badass. Okay. Well, I gotta say this again. You hear the necessarily wrong code.
I don't think that's Oh my god. Okay. This has been apparently echoing insanely, like, layered amounts of echoing. Oh man. I thought I had fixed that. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Oh man. I thought I had fixed that. Okay, I'm listening to the stream again. We'll see if it comes through. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Oh man, I thought I had fixed that. Okay, I'm listening to the stream again. We'll see if it comes through. I don't know why that happened. It is. Okay. It's still layering on itself. Well, that was fun. I don't know how long that was going on for. So the last like 10 minutes, maybe even longer, maybe completely unusable. Cool. I need to figure out a better system for this. Okay. Let's see. Can I do this on YouTube? On my phone. I really don't want YouTube on my phone. Okay, I'm just going to double check. I'm just going to need to periodically tune in and double check it's working. Because I can't leave the volume on. Okay. I'm just going to double check. All right. And I just broke my headphones. Oh man, we're having a good night tonight. Here we go. Gotta be gentle. All right. Well, anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but hopefully at least visually we've been following along. So the link did work, right? The link from the email worked. The one tap, buy it now, log in now system did work. So, and now I just asked it to clean up some code. So we'll see how that went. I'm just checking it out in my VS Code. So here, let me. There's VS Code. Wait, what just happened? There's VS Code. Okay. Just recover. So anyways, now you can see what I'm looking at. So, wait, okay. Oh, that's what I changed. I was like, what happened? Okay. This was supposed to be that. There we go. Okay. I changed the right side where the app was. All right. It's all a journey. So, finally, we're looking at the code. So this is one of the things I asked it to do, was create this isValid email thingy. It even put it into a utils function, which is amazing. So I'm going to add that to the commit. This is an auto-generated file, so we don't care about that. This is... Okay, cool. So this, it did the email template. Amazing. So yeah, so it did everything that I asked it to do, which is amazing, and it looks great. Cool. So kind of a step back and look at what we did moment. Obviously there's a lot more to be done in terms of setting up this system that doesn't have any kind of like password or anything like that. And I'm gonna bring back. There we go. Right. So like I said, we want to get rid of the nickname. I want to get rid of the password, and I'm just wrapping up because we are getting kind of close to the hour, and get rid of this stuff. But what I'm gonna do now, and this is kind of like a general principle that I use when I code, is I always want to move in increments that are always good pausing points. Right. So like now we have this button. The button works, right? I tested it. I can commit this code and push it and deploy it and make it go live, right? So then users can start using it. And I could go on vacation for 2 weeks, right? And I wouldn't have to worry about the fact that I didn't like fully implement the fully, so you can see my fingers, fully implement the whole Magic Link system, right? Like I didn't implement the whole system. I just did this one button. And eventually, obviously, I want to get rid of the password, and like I want to get rid of all that stuff, the forgot password. But the cool thing is, if you use this approach where you kind of implement things in increments, and you sort of plan it out so that each stopping point that you get to is like the product is still completely functional at that stopping point. It's great because it doesn't leave you in this situation where you're like, oh man, the work is like partially done, and so there's this temptation to like want to finish it because you want to see your progress out there in the world, but then you're also like, but it's not fully done, so I can't really relax and walk away, right? Like I said, we've implemented something to a good stopping point, and now I can just push this, deploy it, and if I never want to touch this feature again for another month, right? If I get distracted by some other thing, that's totally fine, right? If I hadn't followed this approach, like let's think about it that way, right? If I hadn't followed this approach, let me lower this a little bit. Let's see my fingers better. There we go. Yeah, let's imagine I hadn't followed this approach. So let's imagine I had just tried to like do the entire thing in one shot, and I hadn't thought about, okay, what if we just do a button for logging in first? Then like, obviously I would only be like 10% of the way done, right, in this last hour, what we did in this last hour. And then I would be in this weird place where it's like, okay, well, I did all this work. I did an hour's worth of work, but it's not ready for anyone to use it, so I'm just going to have to sit on it, right? And no one's even going to see it until I do the other 90%. So no one's even going to see this work progressing for like days or a week or something, right? Or even weeks if it's a really big project. And like, imagine it is like a 2-week push or something, or even a 1-month push, right? Like it's a big kind of rework or a big feature, right? I mean, I've done this before in my previous startup where we had features that took a month or 2. And imagine you're weeks into it and suddenly something comes up, right? Some emergency comes up, some other priority comes up, some urgent need comes up. And now this thing that you've already put weeks of time into, you now need to step away from to go do this other thing. Like, that really sucks. Because that means those 3 weeks of work, still nobody is actually benefiting, right? The user isn't actually seeing the results of that yet. You're just sitting on all of it. You know it's done, but nobody else does. Not even the team outside of the dev team at your company knows, right? So like even your manager or whatever, the less technical people might be kind of nervous because they're like, I haven't seen any results. I haven't seen anything delivered in weeks, right? So they may be kind of nervous. You know that it's done, but you're also probably nervous because it hasn't been tested in front of a live audience before because you haven't gotten to deploy it yet. So you end up in this like really messy situation where it's like you've put in all this work, but don't get to show it off at all. And now the whole thing is on pause. It's like incredibly unsatisfying, right? And it makes you very not agile, right? Not flexible, because then you're like, if that new urgent thing pops up, you have to be like, no, I can't do that urgent thing because I have to finish this thing that I've already spent 3 weeks on so that we can ship it, right? Whereas with this approach, like I just described to you, we can now deploy this and make it live, right? And I'll actually do that in these last couple minutes. And then, like I said, I could go on vacation for 2 weeks, or I could switch to a completely new feature. I could just never touch this, again, if I don't want to. And it's still a fully functioning new little piece of this login system that is independently fully functioning, right? So like, that's really cool. So just wanted to go on a little rant there. But anyways, let's go back to VS Code real quick, because I do remember there was one thing I wanted to tweak, which is let's see, is this yeah, I just don't like when it does these raw KV calls. I try to avoid that. So I actually have a utils function for this. So we will write Excuse me. Well, this is a login thing, so we'll put this up towards the top. I also like to sort of just order the code in a way that sort of makes sense. So here's users. Okay, so we want a couple things. We want to save magic link. Yeah, just say magic link. It's not. We need the dang. Expires at. Token. Hang on. I don't know why it's not. Usually it kind of like figures itself out pretty. Wait. Walt. Okay. Usually this is not that hard. I thought it would just kind of figure out what I wanted. Let me try again. Okay, so there's a couple things, right? Token. Sure. That's fine. And data. And I'm actually not going to stringify because I know that I'm doing that in other places in the app, but I don't actually think it's necessary at all. Okay. And then we'll do a get. She wants you. She needs you. A hurricane to live through. But can you shut up long enough to fall in love? You know what? I think we need a type here. Magic link record. Okay. I could have just asked it to do this, but I'm doing a little bit of real coding myself. Get parsed, KB data, magic link record. Boom. And then this also. She wants you. Actually, we don't need to declare that. She needs you. A soundtrack to do. But can you shut up long enough to fall in love? Magic link key function. I'm being a little retentive here, but that's what. And then delete magic link. Do we do any deletes? Yeah. Okay, cool. So then I feel like my mic is slowly syncing, but I could be wrong. So then we should be able to save magic link. She wants you. She needs you. I have this song stuck in my head. This is a number. Alt. Oh. There we go. A hurricane to live through. My mic is definitely syncing. Unless I'm just going crazy. Sound check. All right. Good. Okay, and then where else? Where else? Where else? There's the okay here. Get magic link and delete magic link. Boom. Cool. Oh, also here. Magic link. And I still don't understand why we wait. Whatever. I'm going to trust it there. I feel like we could delete the magic link earlier on in the process and not duplicate it, but whatever. I'm going to trust it. So, and yeah, there's no more KVs. So now I'm just going to copy this into Figma real quick. This is auth API. And I need to copy this as well. My cat wants to play. KV utils and also types. He has found something to play with, which I don't know what that is. Anyways. All right, I just copied all of that into Figma. And yeah, I think we're ready to actually deploy it. So like I said, I've got all this newsletter stuff mixed in here, so I'm going to need to be a little careful. But I think we're okay. Also don't love putting this into app. Yeah, you know what? All right. Well, I'm going to keep working at this. This is going to be kind of the boring cleanup stuff, so feel free to tune out if you're not interested. But yeah, I'm going to move. Because I generally don't like the app to be making API calls. I guess I have that happening already in a bunch of places. I need to clean that up. All right, whatever. We'll roll with it. Okay, this is the newsletter, so I'm not going to commit that yet. This is all magic link stuff. The little spinny thing. This, I don't know why this keeps getting changed. She wants you. She needs you. A hurricane. Okay. That's the newsletter, which needs its own cleanup. Okay. Clean that up. So we're good there. That's the email template. Does this have any? Oh, no, I fixed that already, right? Doesn't have capitals. Nope. So we'll stage that. This is that thing. Church wrote. That's that. That's the newsletter. That's the magic link. That's the validation. And this is something old that I don't even need anymore. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to commit this, add magic link sign in, and I'm going to push it. What else am I pushing? Interesting. It says I'm behind by 2. Okay. And so we'll give that a minute to update. Here I can, well, should be able to see it pretty quickly. Let's see. It is building as we speak. Let me get the... Ooh, I don't know what I just did. Okay, so you're seeing browser again. Okay, now we go to the app, and I will sign out. Another thing I just realized, I'm going to make a note about this, is sorry. Right now we have it sending people a link, but I think it's nice to have a secondary option, which is to ask them to provide a code that they can copy and paste. So that's something that I would like to do as well, is make it so that the Magic Link also includes like a code, like a 6-character code or something that they can just copy and paste in to sign in, just as a backup system, because sometimes people don't want to click links, or you receive the email on your phone, but you're trying to log in on your computer. Like, there's different reasons why it's useful to do that. But anyways, for now, let's test this. So send me a magic link. Look at that little spinny envelope. That's so cute. Okay, and now I just got my email, and I just copied it from there. So here we go. And let me just double check I'm not logged in. Nope. And let's see. Boom. Oh, that is so cool. Wow. I'm actually very excited about that. Sweet. And yeah, like I said, like that is live now, right? We already did the code cleanup on it. So if I never want to touch this feature, right? If I need to go on vacation, or I get sick, or we need to have, some new priority that we focus on, I'm totally fine with it, right? It is a perfectly functional little piece of the larger thing that we're trying to build, but it's totally functional by itself. So I'd very much encourage in your projects, whenever you're building like this, to try to have that mindset of like, how can we build things and ship things incrementally so that we are shipping like regularly, once a week, if not multiple times a week. And we're always shipping something that's functional, right? It's some micro piece of the larger puzzle that we're building towards. That way you're always showing your progress is getting out there, people are kicking the tires, right? So if there's any issues, you'll find out about those quickly. People will see the progress, right? Other stakeholders at the company will see the progress, the non-techie people. But you also have all the flexibility and agility to be able to switch gears to another feature the next day, right? With no problem. Cool. And yeah, with that, I'm going to end the live stream. Yeah, sorry again about the loop there. Like I said, it's all a journey. So now I just know not to just leave the live stream running in the background. I'm going to do one last sound check just to see if the loop... No. Yeah. I'm just not going to leave the live stream running in the background next time. Anyways, that was the vibe coding thing. We'll be doing the music live stream this Friday. And wait, what am I doing? I have a special outro. I think... Here we go. Okay, cool. Let me double check that audio is coming through. Do we have any audio? Oh, look who's in the corner. It's another YouTuber. Kit Boga. Yeah. Okay, audio's coming through. Cool. I should turn my TV off when I do this. A little embarrassing. Yeah. So this is my goodbye screen. Or I guess my camera's there, so I should say goodbye to that. Yeah. So like I was saying, Friday is the music live stream for now. Might might change that in the coming weeks, but that is the plan for now. And we'll be doing these, I think, Tuesdays. And yeah, so you can come and learn how to do some vibe coding with Figma, and yeah, learn some good programming practices and just hang out. All right. Well, thanks everybody. And there's nobody actually here. But you know, it's practice, right? Getting in the